How long were you in a coma?
9 months.
You were in a coma for 9 months.
Yeah. My tombstone is in the backyard of my father's house right now.
Because they had everything ready for your death.
They said it was over. They told my parents, make arrangements. He's not coming back. That was the saddest part of my life.
Well, because now it's like that final bye.
Yeah. And I'm holding my phone in my hand because I know she's going to call me right back.
Yeah.
She didn't call me back. So I call her again.
And by this time, do you know there's a lot of drama going on?
No. Okay. Nothing. I'm oblivious to it.
Yeah.
And she didn't call me back. And I knew there was a problem right there. So I called my brother.
Triumph from tragedy, the way I overcome the devil mad at me. Farmer like faith, had to plant the seed. Now I work hard, we never take it for granted. We live into a standard, pass it down until it's mastered. I made it from a pallet to a palace and a castle. You can do it too, it's not too much for you to handle. It's that motivation, it's that fire.
What's going on, everybody? So I got a special guest today. Man, he has a story. Albert Carmona from Los Cuatro Nietos, AZ. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, Chris.
Man, dude, like, I'm so excited to have you on the show. You know, we just met.
Yes, sir.
This past week. What day was it?
It was a Saturday, wasn't it?
Or something, right? And
Monday?
We talked like shortly, and I was trying to get I was trying to get a story out of you, but it was so busy.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, I just got to get him on the show, like quick. You know, sometimes I'll wait for some of these dudes. Like, you know, I'll ask him to come on. It takes 2, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. But some guys have taken a year to get on.
Wow.
And I was like, I love your story, you know. And so I'm just glad you came on the show. You made time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're going to start this off. Like, first of all, you guys if you haven't been to his restaurant and you're in Phoenix, it's on 7th Street in like Mojave.
Yes, sir. 701 East Mojave Street.
And it's really good. You know, you're helping the local community. The food's bomb. He has 2 kind of restaurant styles in one. One is Mexican food and one is Long Wongs.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So we'll get that out of the way. We'll talk more about that. But Albert, so listen, what nationality are you?
I'm African American and Puerto Rican.
So you're African American and Puerto Rican.
Yes, my dad's African American, my mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay, so I knew I seen Puerto Rican.
Yes,
I didn't know if you had black in you or not, but
it's the nose, the Puerto Rican nose.
Well, no, I just knew. Like I was like, this dude's got to be Puerto Rican or something. And who's Puerto Rican?
My mom.
Okay, your mom's Puerto Rican.
Yes.
And then so your last name is so your dad's last name is Beatty.
Beatty, yes.
And your mom's is Carmona.
Carmona, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So you're from New York?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, dude.
Yes.
My dad was born in Brooklyn. He's
really?
Yeah, he's man. I hate talking about it because I loved him so much. I met him as an adult. Was when I met him. He died. It'll be 6 years now. It don't even feels like it was yesterday because I just when we met, I just loved him instantly. But he was from Brooklyn, New York.
It's ironic, right?
Oh, he was loud. He was super loud. Business savvy, Jewish.
Really?
Yeah, Russian, Romanian Jew. When you see him, he looks like a white guy.
Okay.
You know, so my mom, I actually got my mom's last name.
Wow.
And then, but he was my dad. And so, anyways, back to you. So Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, sir. Junior's Cheesecake, New York Knicks. You know.
Dude, Junior's Cheesecake. Yeah. Dude, we love New York, bro.
Yes.
My wife, Felicity, loves New York.
It's the Mecca. I mean,
it's like so Manhattan. There's different parts of New York, right?
Correct.
New York's this is a big small state, but Manhattan, Brooklyn,
yes.
Like there's so much going on. The politics totally suck. I think they're starting to get a little better that Trump's in play, but
yes,
the politics suck. But it's fun, dude. It's like fast paced. It's aggressive. There's all kinds of culture. Like there's these vibes there. It's like it's a melting pot of everything and everyone.
Yes.
You know,
you could get anything you want there. There's Latin food, Vietnamese food, you get anything you want, pizza, everything. Every single thing.
And what I tell people all the time when I talk about New York, because we've been there like 5 or 6 times, and I'm like, dude, it's not that expensive. Like to live there, yes. But to live anywhere, it's expensive.
Absolutely.
Like you can live here. Like we have homes more expensive than New York.
Yes.
Right. But so it's just wherever you live in New York. But like the food is the same as here.
Yes.
if not cheaper.
Yes.
The clothing is the same as here.
Correct.
Except they got more styles.
Yes.
Right? Their high-end stores, we have the same high-end stores here. Some of
Correct.
them, most of them.
Yes.
Most of them. And I tell people, I'm like, the flights to get to New York, you get to New York for $400.
Yes, you can't beat
round trip. $450. The first time we went, I think I paid $280.
Wow.
I'm not lying. We went there on a budget. I spent like $2,200, and my wife and myself.
Yes.
We had a really great time.
Which you did everything.
Everything. Right. And then so now you can do it on a higher scale.
Correct.
You know, but you can get there and get out of there for $3,000.
Yes.
Two people, easy.
Easy.
And that's a good time. That's eating. That's, you know, the hotel's $200 a night. The flights are $450. Like, and all the sites are like $15 to like $60 each or something like that.
Yes,
like,
and you don't need a rental car.
No, you just walk everywhere or get in a cab.
Yes.
Like you're gonna walk like 10 miles a day, which is really good for your body. And then if you get tired at night, you take a cab back to the place.
That's it.
You know, Brooklyn, you get into Brooklyn, different vibe, different. The food's a little bit different. I love it. Then you can get deeper into Brooklyn.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Like
Coney Island Avenue.
Yeah. Yeah. The opposite way.
Correct.
Yeah. And there's just so much to do in New York, man. So that's super cool. Maybe we can go out there all together and like, let's go. You can show us like the real spots.
Absolutely. The Bronx on 116th Street, Spanish Harlem, the best food ever.
Really?
The best.
Really?
Cuchi Fritos. Shout out to Cuchi Fritos. It's the best Puerto Rican food ever.
So how was that growing up in Brooklyn? Like your kid, like were you guys poor? I mean, let's go to let's go all the way back to, you know, you coming up in Brooklyn. How did that look like?
Well, like I said, I was a fat, chubby, 60-pound 3-year-old baby. So I had everything. I mean, my parents gave me everything.
I'm sure they gave you all the food. No,
all the food, absolutely. The fridge was never full.
You ate everything.
But we were poor. I mean, we were happy, but we were poor.
Yeah.
It got to a point to where my dad, you know, my mom was the loving woman. Yeah, she watched her soap operas, One Life to Live, General Hospital.
Oh yeah, I remember all those.
With her friends. And
hold on, how old are you?
I'm 51.
Okay, 51. Yeah. All right, so that way I know the timeline.
Yes. So I remember I was infatuated with Erica Kane. Remember from One Life to Live? I think she was in. I think it was Erica Kane. Man. Shout out to Erica Kane, but
bro, your wife's listening to this.
She was the soap opera superstar at my age. I was 6, 7, 8 years old maybe, and my mom would always have her friends over. But my dad was always doing the in and out, you know, the odd jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, but my father wasn't a talkative person. Being from New York, it's rare. But my father would have a whiteboard in his office, in one of the rooms, and the board would be blank. But my father would stand in front of the whiteboard every day for hours. Just he'll look, eat, he'll grab an apple, he'll eat the apple, but staring at that whiteboard. And I copied that. My father.
Hold on, the board was blank.
It was a blank board. It was a.
So like a marker board.
Yeah, marker board, a dry erase board.
Yeah.
And he would just stare at it. And I'm standing right next to him, and I'm looking at the board, and I'll ask my dad, what are you looking at? He says, the words that come on the board by itself.
Oh, shoot.
And I thought my father was crazy. It was like, there's no way. So once a month to go by, the board is still blank. But then he has a Sharpie, a dry erase marker, and then he'll start writing a plan. He had a plan. He didn't want to be in the ghetto anymore in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, I'm in school in PS 99, 14th Street in Brooklyn. And I would come home and he'd have his game plan on the board. What he's going to do, go back to college, stuff like that. And he went back to college.
Really?
Graduated.
Wow.
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice?
Criminal justice. He got a bachelor's in criminal justice, and then he applied for the police department in New York, NYPD. And next thing you know, he was a DEA agent.
So your dad, at this time, you're 8, 10 years old or
Yes.
something, And then how old's your dad? Like 35?
At that time, yes, young
mid-30s.
Yeah, mid-30s.
Yeah. So in his 30s, he's revamping his whole life.
Everything. He never talked to us.
Yeah.
Never.
But this is insane. This is really good.
Yes. And it was, it's emotional for me because, I love my dad so much. And when you said you love your dad, it got to me because it's like, I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for my dad.
Yeah.
My dad I emulate my dad.
Yeah.
Everything
and he didn't even have to tell you.
No. His actions.
Okay, I got there's a saying, I learned this from my father-in-law and my wife, and it goes by, more is caught than taught. And you were catching it, watching him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And my mom was always the supportive role. She always supported my dad. And when my dad said he was going to do something, that's the difference between us now, certain people now.
Are you talking about all lazy people?
Yes, I got
Which
tired.
is the majority.
Yeah, my father was he had no friends. I have no friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
And my father hates excuses.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like excuses. Like this podcast. If I tell you I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here at that time and early.
I was late, guys. I'm sorry. I was totally late.
But just watching my dad. I mean, we didn't play much. We ran the New York Roadrunners Club. That was the thing. Me and my dad's thing. My dad and I's thing.
To
run. We always
like physically running.
10 miles a day before school. Every single day we ran 10 miles. You'll wake me up at 3 a.m. and we were running.
That fat came off
quickly. Got pictures to prove it, guys. But just watching my dad, the success story.
Yeah.
And I to this day, I don't know how it feels to fail. And I don't want to know.
Yeah.
And I can't sit back and watch others failing or fail or have the self-doubt. I hate that. It's a sign of weakness to me. And my job being at the restaurant or the detailing was to help others. I mean, I just did that with a customer yesterday. Yeah. She came in with her son and she's a single parent, but she works for a rental company and she details cars. And I just sat her down and I said, "There's something about you that you need to do your own. Why let somebody pay you what they think you're worth when you can have your own business?
Yeah.
Do it. It's free. Getting an LLC is free. You can't fail." And she said, "Well, I'm scared." What are you scared of?
Yeah.
Of failing.
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to keep working for someone for the rest of your life.
At least try something. We got to challenge ourselves.
You have to.
There's I'm learning about the brain right now, and part of it is I'm gonna say this completely wrong. I think it's called mid-cingulate cortex. Cingulate cortex is in the brain. I'm probably saying that part wrong. But the way it grows and expands is by you challenging yourselves and overcoming the challenge. Okay. That's why you see like people that are successful or they're adventurous. They're usually sharper, smarter. They just faster on it because that part of the brain is growing when you challenge yourself. And you see the people that don't challenge themselves, and you feel like you look at them like dumb.
Yes.
Not to call them dumb, but like they move slower, they respond slower. Because they are not challenging themselves.
Correct.
So let's go back a little bit. So you're in the Bronx. Brooklyn. Your dad's writing on this board. He gets the game plan going. He goes and gets a degree. He joins the law enforcement.
Yes.
So how old are you at this time when he joins the law enforcement?
12, 13.
12, 13. So like junior high, heading into high school type thing.
Never seen him.
Yeah.
After that.
What does that mean?
He was always working.
Yeah.
Always working.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's something wrong with it. Like you want to be with your kids, but it's what you know.
Yes.
When you're,
It was just always gone.
Yeah.
And my mom was gone. She my father always told her, do something you're passionate about. And she loved kids. So she opened up a daycare in Park Slope in Brooklyn. And they had 40 kids.
Your mom?
My mom.
Yeah.
40 kids. She went to school. She got her license and everything.
Man.
And we moved out of the ghetto.
Where'd you guys move to?
Jersey.
Jersey.
Colonia, New Jersey.
Dude, I wish I would have bought something in Jersey because every time my wife's like, let's buy something over there. I'm like, well, we can look in Jersey, but Jersey's starting to become really expensive.
Yes, it's costly.
Yeah, it wasn't 10 years ago.
No.
Today, like the last 4 years or something, it's like, holy geez.
You get a house over there, an average house is about $600K.
Yeah, I know. I was telling her, I was like, we still may and then turn it into Airbnb. I don't know. I think I need a partner for that. But anyways, so you guys moved to Jersey.
Jersey. I was in 11th grade.
So you guys in Jersey.
And it broke my heart because I was leaving home.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But
even though it's right down the street.
Yeah, it's right down the street. So when school was out, my grandmother lived in Brooklyn, Fountain Avenue in East New York. And every Friday, my father would come and pick me up and take me to the train station and send me to my grandma's house back in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Go hang out with your friends.
Yeah,
and
hang
stuff.
out, play handball, basketball.
Yeah.
I was in the streets all day. And then Sunday morning, go to church with my grandmother. She was a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
And I remember my first Bible. It was a gold Bible. It's my first Bible. And I read it. I just didn't understand it.
Of course.
And I said, in time, I'll learn the passages and stuff like that. But being in Jersey, it was an accomplishment. I mean, we had our first house.
Yeah.
My father bought a house.
Dude, this is crazy because it's like they're in their 30s. They changed their whole lifestyle, which there's no excuse for anybody. They both get different careers.
Correct.
Your dad starts to kill the game in the law enforcement. Your mom's like, I'm gonna go get every kid and take care of them all.
Correct.
And get paid for it.
Yes.
And you're watching all this.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
It was just a life-changing moment. And I was telling Jose, I was like, the moment that changed my life, I believe I was 16 years old. And something where you were talking about the brain, I could tell. It was just like an overnight thing. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but you could feel air in your brain. It's just like your brain was breathing. Like I could feel that right here. You could feel it. And I said, I'm joining the Marine Corps. It was just like that. My dad was a Marine. He was in Vietnam. And that structure that he had, I like I said, I emulated my father. I wanted to be just like him, but better.
Yeah.
A better version.
Yeah.
I want to think faster. I don't want to be in the ghetto anymore. I got the taste what it feels like to be in the suburbs now. And that's when my life changed at 16. I was watching my younger brother, my younger sister, because my mom would travel back and forth.
Yeah, they're working.
Yeah,
they're both working their butt off.
In New York.
Yeah.
And we're in Jersey. So who's the next man up? Me. And so I had to take care of my little brother, my little sister, and make sure they had their homework done. And we were good kids. We were never in trouble. Just great kids. And that loved each other and were there for each other. And we were all smart. So when I went to the Marine Corps, my brother and my sister looked up to me because it was my great-granddad, my granddad, my dad, and now me. And we're all Alberts. And we all are Marines. So it was just an accomplishment once you got that Marine Corps seal in your brain. And I said nothing could stop me.
So you went to high school.
Correct.
You graduate from high school.
Correct.
And you enroll
straight to the Marine Corps. Straight.
So 18 years old, whatever.
Yes. I was 17 when I graduated.
Yeah.
And then once I had to wait, that was in May when we finished school. We graduated high school. And then I went into the Marine Corps in January. But we trained from May until January. January 7th was the exact date.
How long were you in the Marines?
6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
So is that two terms?
It's a term and a half. I extended twice because I loved Okinawa, Japan so much.
Yeah.
So
I love Japan.
Stay here 4 years.
Maybe I was thinking I told my wife when we went to Japan, I was like, maybe we get a place here. Osaka is really nice.
Really?
Yeah. But there's a lot of nice places, but
it's beautiful. The food, oh my God, it's just the cleanliness.
Oh my God, it's so clean, dude. Nobody steals anything over there.
You can't.
It's insane.
Did you see any police over there with weapons?
No.
They don't have weapons.
Dude, there's bikes everywhere just chilling. Like, if it was here, those bikes would be gone.
No chains on them?
Nothing. It's crazy. I love it.
It's different.
So you enroll and you're in Japan.
Yes.
And
in Japan.
So now your siblings, how does that look? Like, because you're taking care of them. They now the next one's up, but they already seen their parents grow.
Correct.
They've seen their brother grow.
Correct.
And now it's their turn, right?
Now it's their turn.
And then so you're watching all this now from a distance in the Marines.
Yes. And it was bittersweet because I miss my brother, I miss my sister.
Yeah.
But then time went on. I got out of the Marine Corps after the 6th year because my sister passed.
Oh,
the baby.
I'm sorry.
Of the family. So it was rough, a really rough time because my mother took it very hard. And she passed.
Who passed?
My mom.
Oh, when was this? How long ago was this?
Oh, 14 maybe years ago. But it's something I can't get over. That's the only thing I say I failed at, is not getting over their death. Because the doctors couldn't find anything wrong with my mom. And they said, when my dad did the autopsy, and one of the doctors said, well, she died of a broken heart.
So she never got over the death of your sister, her daughter?
No.
And so like what they say the cause was?
Broken heart. That's all they said. My father knows everything.
And I believe
that.
That can happen. So there's a story. I knew this guy. This is like, oh my God, 18 years ago, and he was like, he worked with me, and then somehow they moved next to me type thing. And it was when I was going through a divorce, and he was getting his papers and all this stuff, and he had like 3 little kids and this wife, and the same thing, man. He ended up getting in trouble and losing like his rights and all that stuff.
Wow.
Like his citizenship and all that.
Yeah.
And was like and got deported or something, and then was on the run type weird stuff, and his wife, like from all the stress and all that stuff, dude, got really sick and died.
Wow.
Yeah, just from all the same thing. They said all that, like the drama and the broken heart and the stress, literally just destroyed her and killed her.
Yep.
That she was dead. Same perfectly healthy.
Yeah. Same thing with my mom. She never smoked. She never drank.
Yeah.
She ate.
I think it happens because eventually, like, your mind is very powerful, guys. Is like what goes on in your mind will manifest in your body.
Absolutely.
And it sucks for someone to do that, but sometimes we can't get past things, and that's why we need God in our lives.
Correct.
For me, anyways. So you get out of the military. How does that look when you're out of the when you get out of the military? Like, did you go into a career?
When I got out of the military, it was more to go back home and regroup with my father. When I went to the funeral,
your sister's.
Yeah, that was the first one. When I went to the funeral, that's the first time I see my father cry.
Yeah.
And it broke my heart. It still does.
You've seen this tough guy.
Yeah, he's a massive man. He's 6'7", 300 something pounds.
Oh, big dude.
Yeah, he's huge.
And he's law enforcement. He's a badass.
He's one of those.
Yeah.
One of those where you get pulled over, it's a wrap for you. I'm going to jail.
Yeah, don't try it. Yeah, don't try it.
Nah. And when I saw my father cry, because we were trained not to cry as kids.
Of course.
You fall, you break a bone.
Get up, let's go.
Yeah.
Keep rolling.
Dust it off.
Let's figure it out. Yeah.
That's it. But when I saw my father cry, it made it feel like it was okay to cry. And that's when I became human. I want to say I became human again.
Yeah.
Because now it manifests to my wife and I, We're always happy. Our girls are happy. My son is happy. We're all good, you know, and I'm not afraid to cry.
Yeah.
In front of anybody.
Yeah.
You know, this is who I am.
Yeah.
That's a man.
Totally.
It's a total man. But going back to the funerals, when my sister passed, my mom, typical New Yorker, right? My mom was born in Puerto Rico and she came here. Her story is just like mine, pretty much like mine.
Yeah.
She came from Puerto Rico. She didn't speak any English. She was 18 when she got to New York. She met my dad, and they communicated with a Texas Instrument machine.
Because she didn't know English.
She didn't know English. And that's how my father got patents with Texas Instruments now, on how to communicate. You know, like 1 + 1, how do you get that number? The answer is 2, but how do you get the 2? Like 100 times 100 is whatever. How do you get, my father did that too. So my father was always a brain. And when I saw my mom, she told me, she grabbed me by the cheeks because my sister passed. She passed because she was diabetic. And she didn't take her insulin. She didn't take the insulin because her husband cheated on her. And
oh my God.
He moved across the street with the new woman.
So your sister wanted to die.
And the girls, my nieces, lived in the house and saw the father walk across. They're in an apartment complex here in Phoenix. It's called the Grandes Cortez Apartments in Tempe. I'm sorry, in Tempe. And he got an apartment in front of their apartment. And he's going in there every night with the new woman. And my sister stopped taking insulin, started eating ice cream. It's like she wanted to die. And
that's terrible.
Yeah. And then my brother, he worked out here in a construction company. And my sister and I were so close.
Hold on, were they here before you?
Yes.
Okay.
My sister and my brother, they were here before me. And I'm in New York.
Yeah.
So they started their lives and they moved here. But when my sister and I, so every picture I have on my phone when we were kids, I was with my sister, always.
Was she closest in age?
No, she was the farthest. She's 6 years apart. We were 6 years apart.
Older or younger?
Younger.
Okay.
I'm the oldest.
Oh yeah, you're the oldest. So it's you, your brother, your sister.
Correct.
Three of you, right?
Correct.
She was the baby.
She was the baby.
Yeah. And she wanted to be with her big brother.
Always, every day. And until we became adults. And my mom would call, make sure she's okay. And she doesn't answer the phone. And my mom would call me. Your sister didn't answer the phone. Call her. Tell her to call me back. So I called my sister, and she'll answer immediately, no matter what she was doing. Anything she was doing. I said, what are you doing? I was making love to my husband. Are you okay? Mom said to call her. Okay, bye.
So she was going through crap the whole time in her marriage. Yeah.
Yes. So one day, I didn't know about the cheating and stuff. My sister didn't tell me that part. And we had an open book relationship.
Well, she ain't gonna want to discuss that, man.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
She knew who I was too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Older brother.
Yeah.
She didn't disclose that, which I understand. But my mom called my sister, and my mom knew. And out of nowhere, my mom calls me, and she says, call your sister. She's not answering her phone. I thought it was normal, so I call her. Every time I call, she answers. And if she doesn't answer, 15, 20 seconds, I get a call back. For years, always like that. I call her, she didn't answer. And I'm holding my phone in my hand because I know she's going to call me right back.
Yeah.
She didn't call me back. So I call her again.
And by this time, do you know there's a lot of drama going on?
No, nothing. I'm oblivious to it.
Yeah.
And she didn't call me back. And I knew there was a problem right there. So I called my brother. His name is Sir Charles. Search. Juanine is not answering her phone. You need to go to the house. He's like, I'm working. I don't give what you're doing.
Yeah.
You got to go to the house. Something's not right. And he says, she didn't call you? I said, no, I called her twice. Go to the house. So he says, all right. He was working at the Super Bowl, setting up the Super Bowl back then. And next thing you know, he gets to the house. He says, the garage is open. Car's in there. But the garage is open. I said, go in the house. He says, locked. I said, go in the house. He says, the cops will arrest me. I said, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, get in the damn house and see what's going on. Yeah.
So I heard him. He kicked the window open. He climbs through the house. And that scream from my brother. Oh, my God. It's so etched in my brain. Like, when I talk about that, it's like, oh, my God. He says, she's dead. She's fucking dead.
So you're on the phone with your brother, and he finds your sister.
And I'm like, this is not happening. But while he's saying she's dead, I hung up the phone. He calls 911. I hang up the phone. And I'm like, how am I going to tell my mom? That's the only thing. Then the phone rang again, and it's my mom. And I answer it. Hey, Mom. She's fucking dead. She just screamed that earth-shattering scream. Like, it went through my body. And to this day, I cry maybe once a month thinking about that scream. Or I wake up in nightmares hearing that scream from my mother. And I fell to my knees. And, it was brutal. That was a brutal part of my life. And hearing that scream from my mom, because I would do anything for my mother.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you just lost your sister, and you feel the hurt immediately from your mom.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then the funeral, that's when the funeral happened. And my mom, she knows how much I love my sister.
Yeah.
And she grabbed my cheeks and she says, I need you to go to Phoenix and take care of him. To take care of who? You know what I'm talking about. Don't come back until you do it. Yes, Mom. What are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
So I called my brother and I said, my father I couldn't come to Arizona. So my father told my brother, bring your sister back home. And we went to the airport and we picked up my sister. And that was the...
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, the burial
transporting the body.
Yeah, to New York to Jersey. We had to go to Newark International. Now it's East something airport, and got the body, and I didn't want to let go of that coffin.
Yeah.
That was the brutality. That was the saddest part of my life.
Well, because now it's like that final bye.
Yeah, and buried her at the
stone.
The stone, headstone, beloved mother.
And how many kids does she have?
Two.
They're still here?
Yeah. That was the brutality. Then moving on to my brother. After she passed, my brother became a schizophrenic. I haven't seen my brother in 18 years.
So it messed him up.
Yeah, it devastated him. So being that my father is DEA and he taught the family how to stay off the grid, my father, he listened to I watched my father. My brother listened to my father. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he taught him how to get off the grid. Don't pay anything, credit cards, anything like that. My brother would call me once in a blue moon, and maybe once a year. He says, Albert, yep, what's up, brother? Where are you? Oh, I'm around. Proud of you. Thank you. You need anything? Nope, I'm good. Talk to you later. And he hang up on me. Within 20 seconds, that conversation. To this day. To today.
But he's alive.
He's alive. I haven't talked to him in maybe a year.
What's his name?
Sir Charles.
Sir
Charles.
Like
S-E-R though.
Sir Charles.
Yes.
That's his real name.
Yes.
So if you guys know Sir Charles, tell him to get a hold of his brother.
Yes.
Albert.
Yes.
He can hit me up.
He is a big part of my life too.
Yeah, we want to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, that's all. Just want to see him, give him a hug. That's all. You could do whatever he's doing. Just give me a hug. That's it. Part ways again.
Yeah.
But that's the story of the Beatty family.
Yeah, that's the loss is terrible, dude. Like we're still going through that. So my wife lost her little baby brother. I mean, he wasn't baby, grown man. He was murdered January of last year.
Wow. And
so we're going through that. That hurt. She's hurt. Her parents are hurt, and her dad just got cancer. Was just diagnosed with cancer, anyways. They're going through that. So it's like the hurt. Like I lost my real mom, my stepdad that raised me, and my real dad. I never lost a sibling that, and I haven't lost a child, thank God.
Yes.
Actually I did lose a half brother, but it wasn't terrible for me.
Yes.
But I see my wife going through that.
Yes.
And the hurt.
You can't do anything.
That's the hurt. Like it's devastating.
Yes.
So I understand. I can't feel your pain, but I understand it.
Yes.
So
you can't hide it. With me working all the time, like it just brings me back to my dad. He worked all the time. Yeah.
You're just suppressing it and say, I got to get this done.
To work.
Yeah. I got to get this done no matter what.
Yes.
Like, there's no excuses.
None.
And we have to be that way as men. Like we want to cry. I cry. It's okay to cry. We don't have to be these tough dudes, whatever. But I think most of us suppress it, which is bad.
Yes.
And then we put it, like the hardworking guys like you and I, we put it into our work, know.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy at all. And I told my wife, maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I got to go to see a therapist or something for me because I have a lot of trauma.
Correct.
As well as you. And so we're looking for me a therapist. If I will find one soon.
Yes.
And then I'll let you know too as well. So let's go back a little bit. I know so this is a cool story. Like not the death, like that's really sad, but just the story itself is because we all have a story.
Correct.
And we all can learn from that story or make an excuse out of that story.
Correct.
It's where we take it, right? So I know you had said you had started a business in Jersey that was in multiple states. What was that, and how did you get into that?
Well, to found a car wash, a little beat up car wash, and it's funny.
Where was this at?
In Jersey.
Okay. Okay.
And it was, where was it? It was in Colonia, New Jersey. And the funny part about it is, this car wash sucked. I mean, it was bad. It was horrible. I wouldn't even call it a car wash.
But it was just like some walls.
Yeah, it was a beautiful Jewish guy, old guy. And that's funny because you said you're Jewish, right?
Yeah.
But it was a Jewish guy. It was like my second dad. You hang out in high school.
This guy?
Yeah, this guy.
Okay.
And he used to put Tide in the washes. So when the cars, I had a black Volvo. That was my first car, all black Volvo 740 intercooled, beautiful car. But I went through the car wash, and the car wash, I get out of the car is white. So what the hell is this? It's all the residue from the Tide that you do laundry soap. Yes.
It just kind of stayed on. You had to re-clean it.
It took me like 4 hours to re-clean the damn car.
You had to re-clean the clean car.
But it smelled good. I mean,
yeah, you're like, oh, it smells like fresh clothes.
It smells like Fabuloso.
That's funny.
But it was the spot, we hung out, ate at Colonia Pizza. It was pretty cool. And I loved this car wash. I said, you know what, whatever, boys hanging out and stuff. We're teens, not teens, but we're like
young men,
late 20s. And next thing you know, I saw this chick, and she was like 7 spaces or 8 spaces down from me, long hair down past her buttocks. And I looked, I was like, Jesus Christ, I've never seen anything like that before. So when I'm driving out and I pass her, I'll look and stuff like that. And it's a couple of times I hit the little post because I'm paying attention to her.
Oh, so you started seeing her there more often?
Yes.
Okay.
So every Sunday, she was there. So I got it. So I'm going to wash my car every Sunday. So every Sunday, if these are the lines, right? She'll be parked over here, and I'll go one lane closer.
Yeah.
Not close, like I won't skip a lane, but I'll go one lane closer for it. And I came up to her, and I said, hey, it's nice to meet you. My name's Albert. Whatever. She says, okay, I guess. And I said, what brings you to the car wash? She says, duh, to wash my car. So yeah, that's true, I guess. Such a cornball at that age.
Yeah, and you're the one, like, she should have asked you that. You'd have been like, you.
Yeah. I was so corny, you know? So after we talked that day, I would say about the following 2 weeks, she didn't show up. I was like, damn, I scared her away. I didn't even get her number, no nothing. It come to find out she went to Guatemala, you know, where her family's at, and she had a vacation, and she came back, and we talked, and I said, you like this car wash? She said, it sucks, but it cleans the car, I guess. And I said, what would you say if I bought it for you?
So you're just meeting her. You got this biggest crush on her.
Oh my God. It was
and now you're like, I'm going to buy you, I'm going to take care of you, girl.
Yeah. She said, you ain't got no money.
She called your bluff.
I'm in a 740 Volvo, right? 1990 something.
That has white residue.
Yeah, white residue. And bro, it was crazy. You ain't no money. And I said, I'll buy it. You'll see. And I went to my dad. Dad, I need help.
I just made a commitment.
Yeah, I talked to the car wash guy, and I worked part-time with him, and I wanted him to teach me everything that needs to know about the car wash. Everything. I said, I need to know everything. He says, why? And I says, don't worry, I just need you to teach me the stuff. Just because I'm working, I'm interested. I want to buy it. He says, you want to buy it? You can't afford it. Back then, $200,000 was a lot of money.
It's a lot of money now.
No, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, but back then.
Yeah, back then it was like $2 million.
Yeah. And for, a 20-something-year-old, I mean.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah.
So I said, Dad, I want to buy a car wash. He says, what do you know about car washing? I said, nothing. He says, so you want $200,000? Yes. No. I said, okay. So I said, I'm going to prove to him. Yeah. I got the whiteboard. And
you brought it back.
Yes. I took my father's whiteboard, and I didn't know anything about damn car washing. I knew how to wash them. I just didn't know
business side, all that stuff.
What soaps are needed, what conditioners, and everything. How the wraps work, anything, the solenoids, anything that has to do with a car. I didn't know anything of that. So I learned it. I wrote down a list, learning how to fix it, where to buy it, Sonny's, wherever, where to get the parts from.
And so at this time, so you're learning. Are you dating the girl yet?
No,
but you
we're still seeing each other though.
Like you're like friendly, talking, flirting.
We went to movies. Yeah, we went to
movies,
a couple of movies. Like the movie Ghost. I mean, that was a cool movie. But
the movie with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, remember that?
Okay, yeah.
That was a great movie. Yeah. She would come to the house. She met my mom, met my dad. It was cool. But then I told the guy, I said, listen, I want to buy the car wash. He says, let me talk to your father. He says, no, it's all right. I'll talk to him. So I started learning all the tricks in the trade and went to different car washes. I wanted to see what they were about. And
how long of time has passed since you like really got into it?
About 6 months.
Okay, so you're just studying like crazy.
Yes. Hardcore, everything. Books. I got books.
Because back then you actually had to learn it. You had to get the books. There's no
we didn't
Google.
have the internet like that.
Yeah,
it was.
You had to go to the library.
Correct.
Yeah.
Get the card, check it out. You have the cards in the back of them, and I check it out, and I never returned them. I'm sorry. I probably still have them somewhere, but I kept the books. I just started learning and becoming a sponge. And when the guy saw his name is Ronald. When he saw what I was doing,
The passion you
I
put
started
into it.
fixing the car wash. I
Yeah.
started buying soaps for the real.
So you're
soap.
upgrading what
Yes.
he had. Yeah.
When he paid me, I bought soap with it. So I learned to reinvest my money into a business.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, I got it. This is great. And now more people are coming to this car wash. And my father got a loan and gave me the $200,000.
Nice.
And I got the car wash and I gave the keys to that woman right there.
To your wife now.
Yeah. Yes. I said, I told you I'd get the car wash. And then it was an addiction after that. Car wash after car wash after car wash. My uncles were contractors. And when a cobblestone or something like that, it would say coming soon, it would take about 9 months to a year for them to build. My contractors, my uncles, would build it in 4 to 6 months. So by the time you open your one, I'll have 3 already.
Oh, wow.
And we just kept going. Self-serve car washes. I have
So
videos.
you're buying like the beat up ones and redoing them?
And revamp them. They'll knock them down and rebuild it. Or if it's structurally sound,
Yeah.
they'll just
Change all the devices and everything.
and
Yeah.
make it better.
Yeah.
And I was just addicted. And I was addicted to money. That was my problem.
Okay.
Once we got to our 14th car wash.
Now, is this in Jersey or is it all kind of
all
East
over,
Coast?
From Buffalo down to Naples, Florida. Now
So
we're
the
that
coast,
good.
yeah.
Correct. We could fly to Vegas to car wash events, car wash shows. Hey, Albert, how you doing? I was in magazines. I mean, we were well-to-do, very well off. But an incident happened to me on the 14th car wash where I said, I'm a god.
So you went from purpose and passion to selflessness
Yes.
or selfishness.
It was horrible.
So it changed, because at one point you're doing it to get this girl. I think
Family.
that's yeah. And then it changed to like money.
Greed.
Yeah.
Greed. It was, I don't know how it went and where I went left, but I just got addicted to money.
I just made a post. I don't know if it was on a story or what it was, but it said I don't remember. It was just the other day, but I said like basically, are you doing what so are you doing it on purpose or in purpose?
Okay.
And so basically the concept of that is on purpose is you're just doing it. When you're in purpose,
Yeah.
there's a real good reason why you're doing it. And sometimes we don't know why,
Yes.
and we're just doing it. And when we're just doing it, it's easy to get
Lost.
distracted. But when we're in purpose, we're in God's purpose.
Correct.
And so now you become a giver, or
Yes.
And so you were just doing it on purpose. You're making money. You've already got the girl.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
Lots of.
You're flashy.
Yes.
Your people know you.
The
You're the
FU
car wash
money,
king.
I call it.
You're the car wash king.
Yes.
And so what happens on the 14th one?
I said these words. I am a god.
Oh, you said that.
With my hands out like this.
You said, I am a God.
We weren't even open yet. We were supposed to open the next day. And I looked at it. It was I will never forget, New Britain, Connecticut. It was a Hispanic, predominantly Hispanic. That car wash maybe washed 100 cars a week. We were doing 1,000 a day when we opened. 1,000 a day. And that's when I said, I'm
Hold on, at the one place?
at one place
1,000 washes?
a day. I have the videos.
So was that what does this look like? Like
It's an automated wash. It's like a cobblestone,
yeah.
but instead of having just the automated, we have a self-serve also where you put the quarters in, right?
And to spray it yourself?
Correct.
So you had
And
both styles.
I had both styles plus a detail center, so it was all 3 in 1.
So if someone wanted a nicer, cleaner one, they paid upgraded. So $50, $10,
it was
whatever.
more than that.
Yeah.
For the detail,
Yeah, 150 to 350.
yes,
Yeah.
easy,
Yeah.
easy. Easy.
Oh yeah, they do have that. Yeah.
The express details.
So you had like your $30 wash or your $8 self-service wash.
Yes, we had our being that it was in Connecticut, it was New York, it was close. The best car wash we had was $50. It's full serve. We do a vacuum, the windows, tire shine, and then the wash.
$50.
$50.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted that.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
And then we also invented when Uber and stuff came out. We're the first car wash. We have
Accounts,
a plan, a membership plan for the Uber drivers.
Oh yeah.
Because they get based on the cleanliness of their vehicle. So you pay me $365, and you get a year prescription of car washes, unlimited, for $1.
Yeah.
$1 a day.
$1 a day. Yeah.
Not everyone does it every day, but it just sounds great.
People don't even do it once a month.
No.
I paid for all those. I did it like every 6 months.
Yeah.
I paid every month.
Yeah.
They make so much money off those because you don't go.
Oh, absolutely. So I remember saying that I'm a god. It was cold. It was, I think it was also in January when we opened that one. And I coughed.
What year is this?
I want to say 16.
About 2016.
2016.
So you've been doing this for a few years now.
Oh, yeah.
You're married already.
Yes.
Got children already.
Yes.
And you're the god.
Yes. That I thought I was.
OMG.
Yes. And I coughed that after saying it immediately. I coughed. And I looked at my hand and there was blood all over my hand.
So you coughed in your hand and there's just blood everywhere.
Yes. And I couldn't stop coughing. And we went home. And next thing you know, I couldn't get out of bed the next morning. And
so you're like early 40s.
Yeah. I couldn't get out of bed. And my wife said, "You okay?" I said, "Call the ambulance. I can't move. My legs, I couldn't move my legs, couldn't move my arms. My back, I couldn't move. It hurt to move. Breathe, it hurt. It hurt." So called the ambulance. They came, and it was a brutal experience to go to the hospital. They took me, and it was Rawway Hospital in Jersey. And I looked at my hands, and I got 1,000,000 dots all over my hands. Just dots. They were forming all over my body. The picture I sent you,
yeah,
that was the final destination.
So you I'm just kind of, you raise your hands up, I'm a god, which there's only one god.
Yes.
You instantly cough, there's blood.
Instantly.
Your whole body's shutting down.
Yes.
And you end up in the hospital.
Correct. The next day. Very next day.
And then so now we're at the point where you're like, what the hell's all over my hands?
All over my hands.
Was this when you're in the hospital?
Yes. While I'm in the hospital.
Okay.
I'm looking at my hands and I'm like, the hell's this? It's just forming in front of me. I'm like, I'm bugging. Something's not right.
Yeah.
And they had 4 guys standing over, surgeons. And I started stripping all of a sudden. All my clothes.
You did?
I started stripping everything. And the guys are looking at me like, what the hell is he doing? And I said to the guys, is anybody else fucking hot in here? Excuse my language. And they're looking at me like, hot? It's like, it was December 23rd. That was the day. And
so right before Christmas.
Yes. Is anybody else fucking hot in here? And they're looking, I'm butt naked. Ass naked, bro. And then the doctors closed the doors immediately and quarantined me. They brought me to another room, quarantined. They didn't say he has the German measles, they called it. It's highly contagious. And no, it wasn't. Now the dots in my hands turned into blisters. I couldn't bend my hands. I'm like, holy shit. My body, I could see all these rashes, all those dots that were in my hands.
And that's part of the picture you sent me.
Yes. All over the body, everywhere. My legs, my toes, everything turned into blisters. And they're popping.
Oh my God.
It was hideous. I wiped my mouth like this and my lip came off. The skin off my lip. My eyebrow went like this. I had no hair. It was coming off everything. My eyelashes, everything. I couldn't blink. It was a point where my eyes stayed open. I couldn't blink my eyes because I was being melted. The eyelids melted to my eyeballs. So now I can't blink, but I went blind. It was the most brutal experience.
So you go from on top of the world in this car wash industry
to zero.
To you're literally burning to death.
Yes. Inside out. From the inside out.
Were you still super hot? And
yes.
Your body's still raging hot?
Yes.
You're blistering up, like boiling?
Yes. And the doctors came in and they gave me a shot of allopurinol because they said that I had symptoms of gout. That's why I couldn't bend. Yes.
Gout? You got blisters everywhere.
I'm
gout?
Burning alive, and you're talking gout.
Oh gosh, these guys don't go to the hospital.
Yeah, ever. They gave me a shot in my IV, and it made it worse. Now my temperature went to 108 degrees.
Oh my God, your brain could have fried.
And then that's when they said, we got to induce you into a coma. And my father was standing next to me, and he says, "See you later, son." And that's when everything went black. I was gone. And the 9 months that I was in the coma, that's where these tattoos come from. And all these are the angels. Everything that I seen when I was underneath, these are all angels. Everything. There is a time clock.
How long were you in a coma?
9 months.
You were in a coma for 9 months?
Yeah. My tombstone is in the backyard of my father's house right now.
Because they had everything ready for your death.
They said it was over. They told my parents, make arrangements. He's not coming back. Yeah.
So what at this time? What was the diagnosis? Because they went through all kinds of different theories.
The registered nurse, I think it's called, a PN or RN, something like that. Yeah. He's the one who saved my life. He said he's extremely allergic to medication. I've never taken any medication since I was a kid. Never. Tylenol, my father used to suck it up, drink more water, dehydrated.
Yeah.
And the moment that I took a medication is the moment where my immune system was so strong, it fought off infection or anything. Once I took a pill, the doctor said the gates of hell opened up in his body. It was fighting until I caught a cold for the first time. My mom, my dad even said, they don't even remember me being sick, ever. My mom always said, my son is immortal. He will never die. That's why I said I'm a God. And that's when God said, no, you're not.
Humbled.
Yeah. And I was telling Jose, I said, Mira, I remember the monitor. My wife has it on her phone. The monitor has 3 lines on there. It shows the waves of the brain or whatever. Yeah. 2 of them went flatline, and then the third one was just one little,
just barely clinging on to life.
Yeah. And at that moment, that's when my wife said, "You got work to do. Wake up." And
but she didn't give up on you.
No, never. Everyone else did.
I don't mean to laugh, but you ever watch Talladega Nights?
Yes. That's
and
the best movie.
The wife wants to pull the plug out and he's just sleeping.
It's beautiful.
She's like full of plug.
Yeah, I love that movie, bro.
I know. It's definitely top 15.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So your wife sticks by you. This is insane because 9 months in a coma. So you still have all these businesses at the time?
Yes, but they weren't getting paid.
Now it's in trouble because the boss man's not around.
Correct.
Yeah.
And my mistake was everything was in my name. My wife had nothing to do with none of them.
Yeah.
Except the first one.
Well, yeah.
And the first one I sold.
Yeah.
So.
Your mistake was you didn't duplicate yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the moment you go back a little bit, before the 9 months, I could see myself. It was an out-of-body experience. Put it to you that way, literally. If this was my bed where I'm laying,
okay,
I'm looking at my body.
Now, was this before you got sick?
No, this was when I was in the coma.
Oh.
Yeah. When I was in the coma, I was out of my body.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my body. I'm looking at my daughters. I'm looking at my wife. I'm looking at my father. I'm like,
bro, you remember all this?
Yes. And everybody's talking. I'm like, I'm right fucking here. I'm not. Talk to me. But I'm looking. I'm like, well, it's no way I'm dead.
Yeah.
So that was the spooky part. That was the scary part, because I'm looking at this and it's like like if you're in a dark room and you have a flashlight directly behind you, you only can see what's in front of you.
Yeah.
You can't see beside you. And that was the scary part for me, because I'm like, where am I? I could only see. And when I turn my body, I could see my dad. Or I turn my body again, I could see my wife, I could see my daughters, but I have to turn. When they left, I wanted to go with them, but I couldn't leave my body. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I have to be in the same room as my body. So everybody's leaving, and I'm walking to a wall. It's like, and I asked God, once the pastor came in the 9th month, the doctors did their test on my foot, opened my eye, because they did surgery to separate the eyelid from the the eyeball. Right now, if I lift up my eyelids, I have contacts. So underneath these eyelids right here, there's scar tissue. So if I take out the contacts, it starts scratching my corneas. So it gets infected.
It's rough kind of type thing.
Yes. Yeah. So it's brutal. The contacts is what keeps where I could blink right now. So I have to have contacts everywhere I go. And that's when I had to come to Jesus moment, when the pastor came in and did the last rites on my body with the holy water. And I went to Jesus. I said, I call it the come to Jesus moment. And I looked for him. I said, why are you doing this to me? He said, I'm in the prime of my life right now. There's nothing can stop me right now. You're stopping me. I need to know why. And he showed me why. So there's an orb. Do you remember the old Rolodexes?
Yeah,
like this, right?
Yeah.
It came down right in front of me, and it turned sideways, and it started spinning. And when it started spinning, it stopped, and it showed me Jesus' crucifixion in different forms. It was graphic, it was disgusting, and it hurt. And he says, do you see what I did for you? And you're complaining about your pains and your burns? This is what I did for you. And it clicked again. I understood what he was saying. Suck it up. This is the brutality of what Jesus went through for us. It woke me up, because I praised money. I didn't praise God.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even believe in God. That's why I said I'm a God.
Yeah.
Because I didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
I thought I had all the money I needed and praise, and I never gave God his due, ever. I don't remember one time I even said, God, help me with something. Give me a clue, something. Never. And he showed me. He has a funny way of humbling a person. And he humbled me. And I told him, give me one more chance to make it right, because everyone's suffering. Say, give me one more chance. I didn't even go into the places of people I displaced from their homes because I wanted that property. You know, I became an ugly person.
I'm listening. I'm looking up something.
Oh yeah, I became an ugly person. It was very ugly. And guy said, my wife reached in my ear. She told me, I'll come back. You have work to do. And that's when God said, I'll be watching you.
You know, like, so I did a study off, I've mentioned this before, a book. I think it's John Bevere. Could be someone else. But it was called Killing Kryptonite. And it brings the Bible into it. And it talks about what's your kryptonite, right? And we did a big study. So I taught this one and talked a lot about idolatry. And And idolatry is like a big sin.
Yes.
And you can idolize many things, right? God wants to be number one, plain and simple. And when we put something else in front of him, whether it's ourselves, money, a statue, a woman, anything,
yes,
it's idolatry.
Yes.
It's where you put anything in front of what God has done for you, what God, his word, anything. And when you start to get in that world of idolatry, you will be humbled.
Oh, yes.
I've been humbled a lot. I haven't been burned, but I've been humbled a lot.
Yes.
And so I'm glad we're talking about this because some of us out there think we're badasses.
Yes.
And I watch you guys on Instagram. You're like this badass dude and I pray to God that you don't get humbled like this, man.
It was it's frustrating. I saw you on Monday. It was Monday. That Saturday before,
yeah.
I couldn't walk again. The symptoms came back. That Saturday, I ran out of a medication. It's called colchicine. It's the size of a rice grain, and I ran out on Friday night. I ran out. I'm supposed to take it. I have to take this medication every day. I have to, 4 of them a day. And I forgot. I ran out. I took extra because I started feeling the pains. So my doctor says, take extra 2 or take extra 1 to get you through. Well, I mismanaged the pills. So I ran out on Friday. Saturday, I went to work and I started feeling a little bit weird. My body wasn't acting. I started getting cramps in my hip. Like, something's not right. I said, I can make it to Monday. That's when I get my pills.
Yeah.
Sunday, I couldn't walk again. I was like, Jesus, this is not happening again. Please. My wife had to help me use the bathroom, walk to the bathroom. I stayed in bed all day until Monday when I got my pills. And then you walked in. It's like, and then before I even came in today, my wife, I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, and my wife says, are you going to go see the guy? I said, you know what? Yes, I am. This is not like you. I said, I know. There's something about him. When I saw you that Monday. When I came back to life, I could feel people's energy. I know it. Before the people, negative people go into my restaurants, right? I leave. I could feel them before they come. Babe, I'm going to the store. I'll be right back. What time are they coming? I said, I don't know. They're on their way. And I'll go to Restaurant Depot. And I hang out there for about an hour and a half. And I come back with a case of soda. Because they're gone now. I could see them on the camera. Go on my camera on my phone. It says, okay, this feels like this guy. And I'll wait till he leaves. And then I'll go back to the restaurant. But when it just reminded me of me being burned alive again. I couldn't walk again.
Yeah.
And then I took those pills on Monday, and then we met Monday morning, you and your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was amazing. It was weird.
It was crazy.
Weird.
His was crazy. We're going to get back into your store, but so we're going to go to another restaurant. I don't want to say the name because I love yours now. And it was closed.
Really?
Yeah. And so my wife wanted a Mexican style breakfast or something.
Yes.
And we're just, started Googling. And we found yours.
It's divine intervention. That's what it is. Because what are the chances that place is closed when you know it was going to be open?
It was closed, dude. It was closed. Yeah, it was closed. I was like, oh, we got to go somewhere else.
We only talked briefly.
Yeah.
But when we looked at each other, it's just like, yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, totally. No, I felt it too. Like I felt it. I said, I told my wife Felicity, I said, listen, I don't know what is about this guy. I go, but I feel like I got to help him. I got to do something. We got to be friends. I was like, no, seriously. Because I've met a lot of people in the last 2 years, especially with the podcast and all that stuff. And some guys, I'm just like, I don't want to see you again. I'm just being straight up.
Jesus.
Like, I'm just being real. Like, when you're around me, you'll know, like, I don't care. Like, I'm still ghetto, bro. Like, I have a little bit of money and a couple things, but I'm still like, whatever. But I was like, I just feel like I'm looking around, looking at your spot. You know, we talked a little bit. You got real busy. It was lunchtime. And I was like, I got to get him on the podcast. And then I got to like befriend this guy. And so it's cool that you're here. I'm super proud. So you get, how do you get out of this, like a coma? Like at what point, because I like this story is like, and we're going to get into another story. This is a long podcast today. So, because I don't know enough about these stories.
Yes.
How do you get out of a coma? Like what happens?
A lot of people say like when you're in a coma that it's impossible that you can't possibly hear or you can't possibly be thinking or that's a lie.
Yeah, because we're spiritual beings.
Correct. For me, this is my experience. For me, I heard everything. I heard it, I felt it, I saw it, and it was scary. It was really scary. Once I was in that coma and then the time went on, my wife knows I love reading books. She read books to me and I'm still absorbing it. And I'm touching my wife, but I'm not touching her. You know, everything's okay. Everything's going to be all right. You're good. You got money. The bank account's good. It's healthy. I taught you how to run a business. And that's what we're still doing it. She struggles still with the business part, but
she's a hard worker though.
Yeah.
I watched her.
The most hardest working woman I've ever met, and dedicated. When she says she's going to do it, she does it. You know. But back to the coma thing. That transition, it's up to that person. Whether I'm not going to say God gives you a choice. I'm going to say that God wants to make sure that you repent and you know what you did wrong, right?
Yeah.
He wants you. He's guiding you to the light. You know, he's guiding you to the right space where you belong.
Yeah.
This is where you belong. That's the better frame to say it. And as long as you know your place, you get a second chance.
Yeah. I believe it too.
I learned. I know where I belong, and now I open everything that I do is with God. I don't worry anymore. I hate when people say, "Well, God, my cell phone bill is due tomorrow. What am I gonna do? Where am I?" It's like the end of the world.
Yeah, for everything.
Think about it. Put it in God's hands. God says it. It says it in the Bible.
Yeah.
Put your worries in me. Let me worry about it. And I've never done that. To this day, there's certain things that I'm like, oh my God, you know, are we gonna get this order today? You know what, God, it's gonna come, and that energy, and it comes.
He will always supply.
Always, figure it out. Certain days we're always busy at the restaurant. If the truck broke down, it happened a couple of times. But the truck broke down for my delivery. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to run out of asada. What am I going to do? God slows the day down for me. And now customers are still coming in, but they stop ordering asada.
At a reasonable pace, yeah.
And they stop ordering asada. Now they're going to pastor. It's like, we sold 50 pounds in an hour. And now we sold 20, but the pastor went up to 60 pounds.
Yeah.
We never sold 60 pounds of pastor before. Yeah. So it's just like, all right, God, I see what you're doing.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's great. And then with you, it's the same thing. I'm sitting at the table yesterday. And I looked up and I said, God, I see what you're doing. He's putting aces in my places.
Yeah.
That's how I call it. Aces in your places. You know, I don't have friends. I've had them in the past, but now I don't because I concentrate and focus on my family and my businesses.
Yeah.
And I have something to prove, and I think this is why we met, because I'm a badass. I know I am. But I went through something that's grotesque and brutal as I went through, and now I got God on my side, or I'm on God's side. I mean, vice versa. Who could stop you?
There's a scripture. It's in the Bible. It says, "If God be for me, who dare be against me?"
It's just
written.
It's just the most beautiful thing in the world to have the ultimate bodyguard, right?
Come on. Yeah,
it's like
someone to go to war with. The biggest, the baddest.
What? I mean, and my wife, she noticed a change in me, and it's a beautiful thing, because my wife she's always been the most spiritual person in the world. She would always say, she would put my shoes. I think there was a book she was reading or something on TV where she put my shoes under the bed. And I said, "Where's my shoes?" She said, "Under the bed." And when I got on my knees to grab them, she said, "Come on, let's pray."
Oh, she got you down there.
And I said, "All right, let's pray." And now every day I'm on my knees and I'm praying.
Oh, that's so good.
Without the shoes on the bed now.
So good. That's so good. So good.
But it's great. It's great.
So did you, like, going through that 9 months, what happens to the business?
I lose them all.
You lose them all.
All of them.
Yeah. Which happens. That
happens.
happens.
It happened. I wasn't upset at all.
Well, man, you're alive.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about? I mean, yeah, it sucks. You get some debt and all that stuff, but you're alive.
And you said a magic word, kryptonite.
Yeah.
That kryptonite, cold, became my kryptonite. I can't be in cold temperatures.
Yeah.
Because my skin, underneath the skin, burned off. So now I'm extremely sensitive to cold.
Yeah.
So when I in the 35 to 40 degree temperatures, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. So no more New York after in January and February.
My daughter's got scholarships to ASU back to back.
Yeah.
And we came out here because my wife fell into depression. And next thing you know, we came to that restaurant.
So we talked a little bit about this, like very, very, very brief, because we only talked like 2 minutes.
Yeah, at least.
And it was like 30-second intervals as you were working.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
And so your daughters get scholarships to ASU. You guys are in Jersey.
Yes.
Jersey area.
Yes.
And your daughters move here for school.
Yes.
And so what happens?
My wife fell into depression. The grades are going down for the girls. And I said, "Babe, go to Arizona. I mean, we got things to do. I mean, I can't just pick up and go. You could go.
Yeah.
I got things to do back there." And she took me seriously. So every 21 days, she was flying to Arizona. Here.
Yeah.
21 days. Not more, not less.
So this is after you got healed?
Yes.
Or you're not fully healed, but after you came out of the hospital, you're starting to pump again.
Correct.
What were you doing for work?
Money. I had money. I had some money.
So you had the savings still and stuff like that?
So
okay.
I'm concentrating on my next move.
Yeah.
God paused me. Put me on pause.
Yeah.
Reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my wife left. She gets on the American Airlines. I take her to JFK Airport. She flies here every 21 days. Stays here 4 days. Rents an Airbnb. Picks the girls up at the dorms. And they chill, hang out.
Yeah.
After
what were they taking? What was their, like, what were they trying to major in?
Landscape architects.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
They never played with toys. They hated toys.
Yeah.
So they got my books and they started reading my books. That's their toy. And they
brainiacs. They're brainiacs.
They started learning together.
Yeah.
They learned everything.
Okay.
So after the 8th, 9th month, I told my wife, book me a flight. I'm going with you this time. So I rented a car on 7th Street and at the Enterprise, a little bit up from the restaurant.
How many years ago was this?
5 years.
5 years ago?
5. Rented a car, rented an Airbnb, Tempe. Had Thanksgiving dinners with the girls, brought them back to the dorm, and this is as fast as it goes. Got on this highway. I still don't know the highway number. I think it's I-17. Coming off and got off on 7th Street. I'm driving.
Oh, you got that curve.
Yeah, that curve.
Yeah, the angle curve.
At that curve where that McDonald's is.
Yep.
At that curve, I look over to my wife and she's crying. I said, babe, are you okay? And she says, I miss the girls. So you're here every 21 days. What do you? Now I'm upset. So I pull in that parking lot, right? Where the restaurant is.
So you get off the freeway.
I get off the freeway.
Pull in the parking lot. She's crying. You're like, okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah, I'm like, we're here every 21 days.
You don't understand it.
I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated now.
Like, what's going on? Why? Like, what's this move? What's happening?
What's going on? I mean, and I look and I saw a restaurant. I said, come on, let's go get some tacos. And so you could calm down. Now I'm livid. I'm pissed in my brain, not vocally.
So you're pissed at your wife for her feelings. Like, I'm just trying to be So because you're trying to understand, like, you come here all the time. I've been working my butt off. The girls wanted to come here on their own.
Absolutely,
they made this choice. And why are you crying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's your thought right there.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
So we go inside the restaurant. Open the door. I order some tacos. Just for
everybody, listen to this.
Just order 4 tacos. She got a water, and I got a Coke. And we sit down. The girl comes out from behind the counter. She says the total is $14.62. Like, cool. So I go to the counter, give her my Amex, and she says, we don't take Amex. Okay? Well, I have my debit card, which I don't ever use.
I don't know. I don't have a pin for my debit card, guys.
Debit card. And she said, we don't take debit either.
You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Want a blood sample? And she says, we only take cash. And I look at their POS system and I said, that's funny. It said, it takes credit card. It says it right there.
Yeah.
And my car washes have the same POS system. Why doesn't it take credit card or debit card?
Yeah, they don't want to pay that fee.
Yeah, so she says, we just stopped doing it today. I said,
that's full
today?
Yeah.
That's convenient.
Yeah, yeah. So, and you're already mad at this thing.
Listen, I'm from New York. I have my Timberlands on, my New York fitted on. I'm ghetto as hell.
Just came back from the dead.
I'm like,
your wife's crying for no reason. You're spending all this money. You're doing all this stuff. You went through all this shit with family, like a lot, all that, and you're like,
what the?
No, yeah. All
Why
of a sudden,
are you doing this to me, right? So
if you had EBT, they probably would have taken it.
Oh, absolutely, immediately. I took looking in my pockets. I had no cash.
Nobody carries cash.
I had no cash, and I said, my wife looks at me and she said, "You okay?" I'm like, yeah, I got it. I go in my wallet and I'm looking in the pockets.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the pockets, and I got money. I found a $20 bill. It was folded. It was frayed. And it was signed by the mayor of New York, Mayor Dinkins. Do you remember Mayor Dinkins?
No, but I would never give that up. Actually, I don't know. Was he a good mayor?
Yeah, he was all right.
All right. Nah.
So I look at
I only like the one guy.
Giuliani?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's different. The towers, that's what, I loved him.
Yeah.
I gave her the 20. And for some odd reason, something happened. She said something to me. And she puts the 20 in the till, closes the till. She said, thank you. And I said, you owe me change. Where's my change? And she says, oh, the sign here says exact change only. Bro.
Oh, Jesus. That's insane.
Bro. I said, I think you need to give me my money back. And she said, I can't open the register. I said, I can. Bro. And I'm speaking, the whole time I'm speaking English to this chick. You could tell she speaks English too, but she's Mexican.
Yeah.
So she looks back at the people behind in the grill area. There's 8 people back there, bro. And then we were the only customers in the restaurant. And she says, este pendejo. It means this fucking asshole.
Yeah. She's cussing at you.
And the guy started laughing.
So now they're laughing at you.
So you know that little box, right? Where
we ordered the food?
Yes. My leg went inside the window.
So you're like gonna go beat someone up.
Something was gonna happen. And this old lady walks in the restaurant. and my leg was in the counter.
So you're about to beat them up.
Yes.
They're being really disrespectful,
Yes.
not giving your money back, laughing at you.
Yes. And my leg was on the stool, on the thing. The lady walked in.
Dude, you would have got stuck in that hole.
Bro.
That would have been funny.
It was horrible.
That would have been funny.
The lady walked in. She said, "Good afternoon." My leg is still on the thing. And I put it down. I said, "Good afternoon." And she was wearing all white. Looked like an angel.
Oh, shit.
She walked in. I said, "I know her old ass is not going to cook in that outfit." Because she walked in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I'm in that little cubicle looking thing. And I'm watching the move. And she goes in her purse, opens her purse, and she started handing out envelopes to all of them. And she walked up to the girl and handed an envelope. She says, "You're all fired. Get out of my restaurant."
All of them.
All of them. And the girl looked at me. I looked at her. I said, "You're fired."
Really?
That's just like that. It was like, I laughed at her.
Well, you needed to laugh. You're pissed already.
Oh, yeah. It was
at
karma.
her expense.
Karma came quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And she walked them all out. And she came to my table with my wife, and I didn't know who she was. I said, "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm the owner of the restaurant." I said, "Oh, that's cool." I said, "Babe, let's go. It's time to go. I'm going to miss a flight." And I got up and I started walking, and when I looked back, my wife's still sitting. I said, "Babe." And my wife was looking at me, but she wasn't.
Okay.
She looked right through me. Like it brought me back to the Coma.
Out of body experience.
Yes. I was like, "Babe." It was scary again. So I sat down. And my wife, the lady says, I explained to her what happened. She said, "I'm so sorry. You seem like great people." She says, "I have an offer to make you. An offer you can't regret. You won't.
Can't refuse?
You can't refuse." And I says, "What's the offer?" She says, "I'm going to sell you the restaurant." I said, "No, you're not."
So she wants to sell you the restaurant.
Yes. So I said, "No, you're not. I'm not interested. I'm not moving to Phoenix." So I said, "Babe, I'm getting uncomfortable. I think we need to go." And she kicked me under the table and she said, "Let's just listen to her." I said, "I'm not buying a restaurant, babe. Let's hear the offer." Because I'm praying to Jesus and say, "God, make it $1 million where I don't have to buy it. I don't want to buy this thing." And she said, "Give me $7,000, it's yours." I coughed at that moment. I looked at my hands, no blood. That's a joke. But I said, what exactly do I get for $7,000?
Yeah.
She said, "Everything." The refrigerator is like $10,000.
No, the equipment is expensive. Restaurant equipment. That's why people can't have good restaurants. The equipment's expensive.
It's ridiculous. And she said, "I'm tired."
Let me know if it gets too cold, bro.
All right, let's go. "I'm tired and I'm going back to Chihuahua." I said, "I'm
The
selling
lady tells you that.
Yeah, I'm selling it today, now or never."
Dang.
I called my attorneys back east. I said, "I need you to run a EIN check on this business, Los Cuatro Nietos, without the AZ. Los Cuatro Nietos." We didn't have Long Wongs at that moment.
Yeah.
It was just straight Los Cuatro Nietos.
It was straight some ghetto business that didn't give you your money back or nothing.
Trash. I was still living. And I need everything. I need you to find something. If a customer didn't wipe their ass, I need to know about it. Everything. Says, "I'll call you back."
Because you don't want to move.
I don't want to move it. Find anything.
Your wife already just told you she wanted to move.
Yes. So we're bumping heads. So I said, "Lori, find me something, anything. I don't care what it is." She calls back about 25 minutes later. And I put it on speaker with a smile on my face because I know Lori got my back. I know she got.
She's like, "Buy this damn business."
It's a dead body in the back. Okay. So she says, "Albert?" And I say, "Yes." "What you get? What we got?" She says, "Do you know where you are?" I say, "Phoenix, 7th Street in Mojave." Mojave, I said, Mojave, because I couldn't pronounce it. Mojave. And she says, "No, you're a quarter mile from Chase Field." I said, "Who's in Chase Field?" "The Diamondbacks. That's their stadium." "Who are the Diamondbacks?" She said, "You remember they beat the Yankees in the World Series?" And I said, yeah, I was just being funny. She said, the restaurant's clean. There's no lawsuits, no nothing. Are you sure? There's nothing. Lori, there's nothing? No, you're good. Give her the money. And she hung up on me. Fuck.
Now there's no more excuses.
Oh my God. You're fired.
Is this all still in that same time frame?
Same time. Yes. Yeah. And we missed our flight. So my wife says, I want it. She says, babe, we're not going to, we can't.
Yeah, we're not restaurant people.
Yeah,
none of it. Yeah, everything. Yeah.
We don't know this business. She says, we cooked all our lives. We cooked together. And this restaurant was our end game. We're supposed to move to Costa Rica, and we had a 5-year plan.
Oh, so you were going to do a restaurant either way.
And yes, it just came super early.
And different place.
Yes. And I said, I remember seeing my girls, they're fish out of water from New York. No family, no friends. My wife is not my wife anymore because she's the East Coast, but her brain is here in Arizona. And I said, lost everything. I said, fuck it. I'm going to Wells Fargo. I'll be right back. My wife smiled, ear to ear. I get to Wells Fargo. I come back with the envelope. And I put the check on the table. She opens the check and she says, it's not $7,000. I said, yeah, I know. She says, I asked for $7,000. I said, yeah, but I took out the $14.62 that you owe me.
The change.
Petty. We're from New York, remember?
Yeah. They owe you the change.
You owe me money.
Yeah.
So she said, okay. And she walked out. Gave me the keys. At that moment, all the lights turned off, the water, everything. They turned off everything. And we're sitting in the dark. I have my phone, and I'm looking through there's a window. Not the where you order. Next to it.
Yeah, the other one.
Window.
It's a bigger window.
Yeah, bigger window. And I'm looking, and my wife has her phone, and she's looking, and she's playing with the stoves and stuff, playing with the knobs and stuff. At that moment, I realized how much I love my wife and how much this restaurant means to her.
She was so happy.
Yes. And the girls, happy.
And you hadn't seen her that happy in a long time.
In a long, long time.
Well, yeah, because you guys went through a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went through hell and back.
Yeah.
And to see her happiness again, her smile, and that hug that she gave me, that I love you hug. You can hug a person and be like, yeah, whatever, get off of me.
Yeah.
But that I love you hug, like, thank you, that meant the world to me. So that's why I work so hard. What
I talk about this a lot. We talk about it in our life, on the podcast and everything. And like, God will give us what we can handle.
Yes.
It looks different. It's packaged different. But it's like, and I tell people, like, listen, God will open a door for you. It's up to you to walk through it.
Correct.
And the fact that you guys walked through the door
together.
Yes. Because knowing that God, like, and you don't know all the time it's God or whatever, but it's like, you did it. Like, had you not, who knows, right?
Correct.
So you get this restaurant.
And then everything started falling apart again. The lady left. She said, everything is good. But then everything started falling apart, like the water, the piping. Cracked.
Oh, yeah, no, you're the restaurateur now, so now it's up to you to fix the stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the water cracked. Then I called, can I say the name of the business?
Yeah, I don't care.
What's the one? Parker & Sons. I have a review that I put in there. And they said there was going to call. I had an event that afternoon when we were grand opening event for, I think it was 50 people on that Saturday. It was Friday. The pipe burst on Friday night. I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, babe, we got to go to the restaurant. She says, what's wrong? She says, something's not right. I got to go to the restaurant. Let's go. She says, babe, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, let's go. We got to go. These feelings I get.
Yeah.
We get to the restaurant. I open the door. Water pours out the front of the restaurant. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Shh. And you could hear the water.
And you're not at the car wash.
Yes, you could hear the water just. And so where's this water coming from? And it's like a tidal wave, not a tidal wave, a little whirlpool in the middle of the restaurant. Like, what the fuck? I ran to the back, and that's when I found the water just shooting into the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm new at the restaurant. I don't know where the emergency shut-off valve is and stuff. And I'm making calls, and they said it's outside. I'm looking outside. I turn off the water. And I said, my wife's sweeping. She's crying. She's sweeping the floor. And we have the event, and I said, let me call Parker's and Sons. It's the only one 24 hours, so okay, let me call them. They get there. It's like 6 a.m. now. And the guy goes in, he does it, he sees it, and he says, yeah, it's going to cost you about $2,200. And it'll take me about an hour and a half because I have to fix it. I said, okay, cool. Here's my card. He says, yeah. He takes the card, puts it on this little clipboard. He says, okay, he writes down the numbers. I'm thinking he's going to do the job. Says, yeah, I'll be out here next week sometime. What do you mean next week? I need it done now. Why are you taking my card information if you're not going to do it now? Yeah. You already identified the problem. Can't you fix it? He says, yes, I can fix it, but I don't have the tools. And it's like, okay, whatever. We just go. I guess Tuesday, I got to wait till Tuesday. My wife says, do you remember the guy that came here to eat? He said he's doing work up the street. Call him. He gave you his number. So he doesn't do plumbing. She said, just call him. I call him. So his name is Rudy. Rudy, can you come to the restaurant? I got an issue. He says, yeah, sure. Be right there. 3 minutes. Came in. He looked at the issue. He looked on the other side. He grabbed I shit you not. He grabbed a screw. It was about this big, about a half inch.
Plugged it.
He grabbed the valve. He put the valve back in, put the screw in, tighten it up. He said, turn on the water. He said, it's going to flood, bro. I said, just turn on the water. I turned on the water, and to this day, it hasn't leaked one drop.
The screw was loose and just popped off.
Yes.
And the guy, that Parker and Sons,
$2,200.
That's what they do. You know what? Like, some of these big, you guys got to watch out. Some of these big old corporations, they send salesmen out there,
yes,
and they wax you.
Yes, because we don't know any better.
Yeah, they wax you. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
The guy Rudy, which we're still friends to this day, we're associates. He charged me a torta. From $2,200 to $7-8, bro.
$7. But, so like, you guys get the restaurant going. Your daughters are here.
Yes.
Are they still here?
No.
So what happened? What do you mean no?
They moved back to New York.
You chased your daughters to AZ and they moved back. So they graduated and moved back?
Yeah. Yeah. But they're here once a month.
Hey, are they in the industry, landscape?
Landscape and architecture.
Both of them?
Yes.
Both work for the same company?
Yes.
So they're doing well?
They took them both.
They're doing well?
Yes, very well.
Nice.
Yeah, very well. They're here once a month. So
how's life at the restaurant today? There's challenges, you're learning.
Always. People, when we first opened, we were making $50 to $100 a day. And we had 4 or 5 employees.
Huh.
Bank account's healthy. I don't care. We're good. But then I didn't realize that there's expiration dates on food.
Yeah.
You know, so my wife's throwing this food out. And I'm like, oh, why are you throwing it out? Baby, food is expired. I mean, you got to throw it out. Like, shit. How long have you been doing this for? She said, a month already. I'm like, it's a few thousand, you know?
Yeah.
So, long story short, I had to figure it out. I know my wife loved this restaurant. We came here. We gave up everything back east to come here. I had to be out west. Doctor said I had to be in a place where it's hot.
Yeah, warm climate.
Yes. So I said, okay. And that's when I hate social media. I hated it. Hated it. For you name it, I hated it. So what I did was I downloaded Instagram, Facebook, and then TikTok. And I only downloaded it because I'm a spy.
You want to see what everybody's doing.
Correct. What are they doing that'll make me say, okay, that's easy.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah. So I started spying on what and look at the reviews of all the restaurants. Every single one, I became addicted. They're my dad again on the computer, just absorbing all this. What the customers hate, because this is a different demographic. New York is New York, Arizona is Arizona. So I think adjust to people too. And when I found out what the customers like, I said, well, I could sell them the food, but then we're going to reverse what the restaurants aren't doing nowadays. The owners love their business, but they have people who don't love the business work in the front and take care of you.
Yeah, they scare everybody away.
Correct. So instead, I reversed it and I said, well, no one loves this business more than my wife and I. So we're the brand. We're going to bring out your food. We're going to intervene and talk and chop it up with the customers, see who you like, what your dislikes, what we could do better. And people respect you more by doing that.
Yeah, totally.
We don't take tips either. I feel like if you take tips, I don't like it because we're truly authentic. How can I give you authentic Mexican food if I'm not authentic? Right? So the conversations that we have is authentic.
Yeah.
What's the excuse now that I'm not working you for a tip? This is who we truly are. We truly love you. We respect you. We're truly authentic all the way around.
You know, one thing I learned in Japan too is they don't take tips.
They don't.
That's rude to give.
Yes.
It's very rude to give them a tip. I think you should take tips though. we'll talk about that. So,
I just feel,
dude, the food is good.
Thank you.
I feel like you changed it. Like, okay, question is, did you keep the same menu?
No.
You changed it, the whole thing.
Correct.
You just kept the name and the space.
Correct.
You changed the menu, added Long Wongs.
Correct. Well, the Long Wongs came to us.
Oh, and they're like, hey, you want to put it in there?
Correct.
But it's you
Correct.
got to pay for the ranch franchise or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got a variety of type of food. I ordered. I love enchiladas.
Right. With the eggs on
with
top.
eggs on top. I don't know if many people order it that way.
No.
Nobody does it.
I think you're the first.
Yeah. Oh, it's breakfast. So,
but it sounded good.
So I ordered, and I actually asked for. So the reason why I asked for ground beef is because I wanted some protein, like easy to eat protein. I'm not a big fan of shredded beef these days.
Okay.
Or big chunks. And you didn't have the ground beef, so you're like, hey, I'll give you my salad, which is cut really small anyways.
Yes.
So I got basically carne salad, red enchilada with 2 eggs on top, over easy eggs.
Easy.
That's the best way to eat it. But the sauce, it was different.
Yes.
Is it like are you integrating that birria sauce into it or something? Like it was a different. Don't tell us the recipe, but it was different.
It's a mixture. Of different sauces.
Yeah, and then you kind of fried the enchilada.
Correct.
Which so every time I took a bite of it, it was crispy and crunchy.
Yes. Because if you don't fry it, you're gonna get soggy enchiladas.
Well, everybody serves it like that.
Yeah.
And you fried it up, and I was like, God, this is good. For real. I was like, I knew it was a different flavor.
Yes.
And I was like, this is good.
When you put the different flavor, that's the thing with my wife and I. She has hers from Mexico. Her father's Mexican. Her mom's from Guatemala, and I'm Puerto Rican and black. So our seasonings are different. Yeah. But we merged them together.
No, I liked it. I liked the flavor. It was different flavor. It's like a fusion. Very good. I think you should probably add the egg on enchilada in the breakfast menu.
I should.
I think people will get it.
I think they'll buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I know for sure people from Arizona will.
Because it's almost like a chilaquiles. Chilaquiles has the eggs. Why not?
Yeah, but that's a mess. It's messy.
Yes, it's messy.
I want it contained.
I was gonna bring that to you today. I said, no, he doesn't look like a chilaquiles guy.
Yeah.
So I got something more.
He brought me a meal. He brought me a whole meal. I'm excited. Man, it's a great story that you got to share with us, and I'm super glad you got to come on. I'm glad we got to meet.
Yes, definitely.
I know you're gonna do big things. I know we're gonna keep a relationship going.
Absolutely.
Before we end this podcast, what's something that you could give the audience, that nugget to that young entrepreneur, maybe that person that wants to become a restaurateur or anything like that? Like, what's a nugget you can give to the audience?
You got to be passionate. You have to have the passion, whether you're cleaning toilets or cooking a torta. Everything that you do it has to have passion behind it. Because if you're not passionate behind it, you're just a regular Joe Schmo to me. And customers know that. You know, they know if you're full of shit or not, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're not passionate about it, I mean, passion, the results of being passionate is by meeting him, you know? This is a perfect example. He loved the food. I mean, our passion it includes love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love and passion is two things. They correlate with one another, you know?
Totally.
So that's why if there's anything that you took from this podcast, you just got to be passionate about everything that you do. Every single thing. Passionate about your wife and your kids and your work and everything. Everything you have, everything that you do in life. Even loving God, you have to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. And in the Bible it says, "This too shall pass." So, like, this is why I bring on great guests, is like to hear stories like yours, to let people know, like, you're not the only one going through a bunch of BS.
Correct.
We all have our own stories. Some are worse than others and stuff, but we can get through it and we can grow from it. Integrate that passion, because that's true. It's passion. Our motto, what Extreme Drive was, taking excellence to the extreme. And that's that passion, that drive. Like, don't just do something, do it to the best of your ability.
Absolutely.
So guys, if you want to follow this guy, look up Los Cuatro Nietos. I won't say the gang name. There was a gang name real close to that. Los Cuatro Nietos on 7th Street in Mojave. They're on Instagram. Do you have a personal Instagram? No. Do you?
I do, I believe. Let me.
But look up the restaurant.
Yeah, listen, look up the restaurant, Los Cuatro Nietos AZ.com. Or
if you go there right now, we're gonna give you a 10% discount.
Awesome.
He doesn't even know about it. I need you to go there. We need to support this guy. We need to blow this thing up, right?
Please.
Everybody needs to know about this place. It is amazing. Thank you for your time, bro.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our stuff, and be blessed.
Later, fellas.